A major AEW debut was pulled due to Vince McMahon allegations. Plus, the new WrestleMania 40 lineup is locked in. And we have an update on an AEW Star's injury status. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. A lot of chatter online about some possible big debuts for AEW, one of which was apparently pulled from just the other day, so we're hearing today, Ed.
Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer radio revealing that an announcement of Mercedes Moné has been delayed because of the Vince McMahon allegations, saying AEW thought they had Mercedes for a while. They were originally going to make the announcement on Saturday, and then they realised that was probably not the best day to make the announcement because of the Vince McMahon stuff. It's better to do the announcement at a time when people will be talking about the announcement rather than it get lost in the Vince McMahon story that's all over everywhere. I think it's a very clever thing to do, actually. I think they made the right choice because it really would have got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, as big, you want to make that as big a splash as you possibly can. So it's looking like it was delayed to next week. So we had last night on Dynamite a little thing on the corner that said next week Tony Khan makes a big announcement. He loves a big announcement, does our Tony, and the announcement could very well be Mercedes Moné.
And I expect her, if they're announcing it at this point in time, I expect her to have a debut match at Revolution. I thought we might get the debut itself at Revolution because there was a lot of chatter around the fact that she might be popping up again in March, which is when Revolution is. But if he's announcing it now, you would probably expect her to be wrestling on the show rather than just coming out and waving and saying hi.
You're potentially getting a lot of big moments on Revolution. Will Ospreay is going to be ready to go for AEW at Revolution, and he said as such, if Okada's coming in, that'll probably be where he lands. If Mercedes Moné is coming in, that's likely where she'll land. And the final match of Sting.
Yeah.
All on one night.
That's big, isn't it? Big moments.
It's big moments, but it does mean the show is probably going to go about 7 hours.
No change there.
Cheers, Tone.
What do you see her doing? Do you see her picking up the belt pretty quick?
I think almost immediately you put the belt on her. I love the stuff that they're doing with Toni Storm. I really, really do. But I think there's value in having Mercedes Moné in the mix as the champ almost immediately. I do like the idea of obviously, I think she'll pick up a key win. Maybe they do Moné Saraya as a first match. There's story there from somewhere else, admittedly, but there's some story there.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. I hadn't even really considered that.
It's a great way to potentially bring back Britt Baker, DMD, as like, hey, you coming in here. This is my promotion. Get out, you monster. That's the promo she'll definitely cut. But then there's the story with Toni Storm. I like the idea of her maybe facing Toni Storm, but not winning.
Oh, not in a debut though, surely.
Not debut.
Right.
That's as the journey goes on. Make it feel like a foregone conclusion that she's going to beat Toni Storm for the AEW women's title and then just pull it away.
Happen. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of value around having Mercedes with the belts, but I don't think you need to do it straight away. Do it in London. Give it a bit of time. Let Toni have that belt for a little bit longer. No, because she's gold, isn't she? It'd be sad for like Mercedes to come in. It's like, hey, we got a bigger name now. There's your belt's gone. Let Toni do her thing because she's creating gold.
She is creating gold. So no debut time locked in yet for Mercedes Moné, but apparently the WrestleMania 40 card is. As I said earlier today, the road to WrestleMania is paved with good intentions, and it all was going very well. There was a very clear path that was taking us there, some nice long-term stories. Few of those have fallen by the wayside due to incidents and accidents and hints and allegations.
Not ideal at all, obviously. Brock was meant to be coming back. Punk is now injured. Seth's hurt, but is expected to be at WrestleMania defending his title anyway. Aaron Varble from SE Scoops tweeting, Bruce Pritchard, Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, lead writers and some high-level WWE associates met at Royal Rumble and also on a conference call on Sunday to discuss WrestleMania. I've been told that the lineup has been determined. The final word has just not been distributed to talent or the rest of the creative team yet, but it's locked in, it's done. We just don't know what it is.
So what do we think it is? Let's have a little bit of...
Go on, let's speculate.
So what is it? So Seth Rollins, he needs an opponent. It's not going to be Cody, no matter how lovely those videos are.
Sorry, but if Rock's coming back, it could be Cody. I think it makes Cody look like a complete plonker, right? Because that's not finishing the story. He's already beaten Seth 3 times on the trot, and now he wants to go for the working man championship, the blue collar championship. Nope, that's not finishing the story. But the problem is, if you've got The Rock coming in, he's obviously wrestling Roman. It leaves Cody. I don't want to see a triple threat. That's the last thing I want to see. But I think if they've got Rock Roman, they'll do Rock Roman. And then where does that leave Cody? I think he goes for Seth's, and it's stupid.
He trades in his match with Roman Reigns for these 3 magic beans.
Right. Drew is a possible challenger for Seth.
I think Drew folds into that role really nicely.
He's gold right now as well. The stuff that he's been doing just since the Royal Rumble, he's been really good for a long time. But it's been picking up and picking up and picking up. And now... Drew Trolling Tire? What are we calling him? He's just being a bellend on social media, and it's brilliant. It's really great. Rhea Becky.
Yeah.
Io Bailey.
Nice. Easy one.
LA Knight, Logan Paul.
Yeah, that's an easy win. Gunter versus...
Braun?
Ooh. I mean, Braun Breaker, because if you are going to just potentially supplant Brock Lesnar with Braun Breaker, then you've got that match. They've got history that they can pull back upon.
And I'm up for Gunter dropping that title to Braun. I think Braun is a worthy IC champion. And he'll have broken every record by then, because Gunter's obviously had the longest reign, but he's very, very close to having longest combined reigns all in one. So once that's done, give it a Braun. Go on.
Because otherwise, if he keeps on going after breaking all the records, he'll start to glitch out like Tetris. That's a very topical reference, and you're welcome to it. The other option, of course, is putting Gunter in the world title match with Seth.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Going in there, doing Warrior Hogan.
Yeah.
IC champion versus World Heavyweight champion. I'm up for that.
It's a nice story. AEW and CMLL's relationship well and truly underway. Last night on Dynamite, we saw Mystico, Volador Jr., the nephew of the original La Parker, the son of Super Parker, Mascara Dorada, former Grand Metalik, and Hechicero all jumping the barricade and attacking Moxley. They had a little bit of verbal during Mox's match with Jeff Hardy, and it led to this, and it's going to lead to an 8-man tag on a Rampage with those lads facing Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be a great time.
I think we might see some flips there, I think somebody might go up to the top rope.
Mons, what you saying? Surely not.
It's just
top
good
rope
value.
Is banned.
It's just good value stuff. It's just a good laugh, isn't it? Those matches, like the AAA multi-mans that we see, the tag stuff, it's just balls to the wall action, and I love it, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It's a nice prelude to Saturday on Collision, where Bryan Danielson faces former CMLL champion. He spent 409 days with that belt against Hechicero. So that's going to be great as well. A lot of love for Hechicero.
I've gone and I've started watching some of this stuff because I'm really, really unfamiliar with a lot of Mexican wrestling, especially current Mexican wrestling stuff. And it's made me scout a load of stuff out on YouTube and try and scrub up a little bit, not just so I can talk about it a bit more on the news and wherever I end up popping up, but also because it's just a part of wrestling that I'm so unfamiliar with, and I'm loving it. I'm really, really loving it. It's just fun. It's really fun stuff.
I'd advise you learn about some of the more curiosities of Hechicero, like his reign as NWA World Historic Light Heavyweight Champion, which is the NWA belt that lives in CMLL. Mm-hmm. I presume they drop it back to the NWA at a petrol station on the weekend or something. And former Trios champ as well. And he was in the 2014 El Busco de un Idolo, which is like a proving ground-esque tournament with a panel of judges. It's like if American Idol had fighting.
Like Hogan's reality show.
Oh,
is it that? Hogan's Celebrity
it is exactly
Wrestling?
Like Celebrity Wrestling.
Gotcha. Now I'm scrubbed up. I don't need to watch anymore.
No, exactly. Bryan Danielson scrubbing up and avoiding, hopefully, a mad scientist bomb on Saturday. The partnership between both sides officially got underway in October. And it's a really interesting one because you've got this long-standing rivalry with CMLL and AAA where the sides never come to terms on anything. And they are going to both work with AEW, but there's caveats that say, you can't book the talent, you can't cross the chopsticks, if you will. Mm-hmm. So you've got to keep them separated as much as you can. That was a Red Dwarf reference, by the way. I was quite proud of that. The antimatter chopstick.
Oh, Oh, okay, I'm with you.
Boom. So don't cross the chopsticks. So CMLL, AAA, AEW, a weird and wonderful, wacky wrestling family. We'll end on some news about an AEW star that we talked about very early this morning, and we have an update on.
Yeah, very, very quickly. Wardlow announced on Twitter that he was fine, in his words, after it seemed that he'd suffered a knee injury at the conclusion of his match last night on Dynamite. But Brian Alvarez has offered a bit of a different update, saying Wardlow says he's fine. I've been told that it's not fine. Well, I was told that he's getting checked out tomorrow. They think it's a possible torn meniscus, but that he dodged a bullet and it wasn't much worse. And he'll probably be all right, but he is definitely right now not fine. Torn meniscus, not as bad as it perhaps sounds. It could only just set him back for a couple of weeks. I don't expect him really to miss any TV. I think he'll just cut a promo or something and come out. They'll just keep him out of physical action for a few weeks. Hopefully it is just a torn meniscus and it's nothing more serious. But fair play to him for just going, no, I'm fine.
Yeah, but surely anyone that's been in a long-term relationship knows that if your partner messages you and says, I'm fine, they're clearly not fine. We should have known this was coming. Definitely a guy in the mix for the world title. Hopefully this isn't something that's going to slow that process down.
Yeah, because it's been so stop-start for Wardlow. If I was Wardlow, I would go, yep, I'm fine too. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to give the indication that you might be hurt at all, because it really has been stop-start, hot, cold for Wardlow. So get back to it ASAP. Hopefully it's not as serious as some initially thought.
And we'll have more wrestling news for you throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.